first, we just want to make the court aware that one of the state's witnesses, EPD Detective Courtroom, formerly was a CO at a jail where the defendant was incarcerated at, and he spoke to him almost daily over a 6-month period.
Okay.
And he can recognize his voice, and we're going to put him up as to that. We were planning on just keeping it general as him knowing him from his former employment, but if this defense objects to the recording being authenticated, we'll go into more details about how he knows him.
Mr. Crook?
Your Honor, I am definitely going to object to him being the authentication of the voice. There's a question of time, there's a question of duration, there's a question
All right,
of...
well, we'll get to it when we get to it. Okay, what else?
The second issue is the police officers were unable to reach the confidential informant, Thomas Sutton. Detective Caroon knocked on the door of his Forest Drive residence, and the person who lived there says he no longer lived there. Not sure if he was formerly evicted or just kicked out. The number they have for him is disconnected. They attempted to call it last couple of days as well as in the past months. They also ran him through leads. His last court appearance was in November of 2023 in Willoughby Municipal Court, and he still gave the Forest Drive address as his current address. So we will be presenting evidence from all the officers who are with him when he's making the call and watch the video, but we will not be likely calling the confidential informant.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Anything from you?
Motion to dismiss the trafficking charge based on the confrontation clause, Your Honor.
All right.
My client has a right to face his accusers. His accuser is not here. No one that will be testifying today was actually there when the alleged drug transaction took place. I don't know how.
I don't know that until I hear the evidence, right? So it's denied at this point.
Also, Your Honor, I object to any statements or actions of the CI being brought in, specifically his statements and a recitation of what happened, anything regarding any statement that he made whatsoever.
All right, well, let's see what they try to offer, and then we'll go from there. Let's follow the rules of evidence.
And last but not least, Your Honor, just to protect the record, I'd like to renew my objection for the same reasons stated in the motion to suppress to the admission of the search, just for protection of the record.
All right, Mr. Hurd.
We are ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
All right. And would you like me to start with opening, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
We would move to incorporate the indictment and sequestration of witnesses.
All right, that's granted.
Your Honor, most people buy Coke at a McDonald's, but on June 17, 2022, the defendant sold $100 worth of Coke at an East Lake McDonald's parking lot during a Lake County Narcotics Agency controlled buy. The state will be presenting evidence and testimony from Lake County Narcotics Agents Special Agent Chris Melita about what happened before the buy, during the buy, after the buy, and how the buy was caught in real time on video as well as with audio. It took place at McDonald's at 36141 Lakeshore Boulevard, Eastlake, Ohio. Multiple police agencies were present and waiting on different potential routes that the defendant could take. The defendant sold cocaine and was given marked money in return. The serial numbers on the marked money were recorded. As the state already mentioned, you're not going to hear from the CI, but you're going to hear from all the other police officers who were involved. The deal was recorded, and it is almost a textbook hand-to-hand, which we will have stills of the defendant holding the bundle of cocaine, which is 0.95 grams, and of the CI, Tom Sutton, handing him the $100 in marked money. After the exchange goes down, you'll hear from the special agent that he met with Tom, immediately debriefed with him, and the drugs that were sold returned over immediately to him. Shortly thereafter, around 2 miles away, still on Lakeshore Boulevard, the defendant is pulled over. Multiple officers arrive immediately on scene, such as Detective Fawcett, Detective Caroon, and as well as Sergeant Frank from the Eastlake Police Department. He's still in the same vehicle with his fiancee driving him around. It's a Toyota Avalon. He's still in possession of the same cell phone he used to set up the drug deal with the confidential informant. And after the vehicle is searched, they find 6.62 grams of suspected cocaine in the passenger door next to the defendant. The defendant at the scene says that anything you find in the car will be mine. On multiple occasions during the booking process, he says it again, trying to protect his fiance.
Objection.
Overruled.
And police officers, Detective Courtroom, counts the money that was seized from his person and verifies that it is the same marked money that was turned over to the CI to complete the buy. Accordingly, after you've seen all the physical evidence, heard and seen all the photos and videos, and heard all the testimony, the evidence will prove beyond reasonable doubt the defendant is guilty of F4 possession of cocaine, as well as trafficking 0.95 grams of cocaine when he sold $100 to the confidential informant Tom on June 17, 2022. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Crook?
Your Honor, they don't have the confidential informant. Therefore, any actions that he took, anything that was out of the direct observation of any of the officers, any claims of what he did, what was transacted, any claims of where he got the crack cocaine, allegedly. There's issues with the testing as well that we'll bring up on cross-examination. But the bottom line is, Your Honor, we've got a case without an accuser. I've already made my pretrial, my motion dismissed at the inception of the case. I will renew that at Rule 21.
All right, thank you. Call your first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The state would call Special Agent 91. Your Honor, can I move the lectern?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand, please. Swear testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, have a seat.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Could you please state your full name as well as your special agent number?
Special Agent 91 with the Lake County Narcotics Agency.
And what is your full name?
Christopher Melita,
Are you employed anywhere?
Lake County Narcotics Agency.
How long have you worked there?
Approximately 7 years now.
And what is your position there?
My position is a narcotics investigator for the County of Lake for drug crimes.
Did you have to complete any training for your position?
Yes, the training I have completed was the Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy at Akron Police Academy. Also various training through the Ohio Narco Association, Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, Ohio BCI, Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and various others through Ohio Army National Guard narcotics investigation courses.
Are you employed anywhere else?
No, I'm not.
Do you have any prior law enforcement experience before?
I do. I gained my commission at the Springfield Township, Ohio Police Department.
How long did you work there?
Approximately 6 years.
Are you a certified police officer in the state of Ohio?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been a certified police officer?
Should be approximately now 12 years.
And did you have to complete training to become a certified police officer as well?
Yes.
How long did that training take?
That was about approximately 6 months.
Have you completed any training as to controlled substances?
Yes.
Have you completed any training as to drug identification?
Yes.
What about packaging?
Yes.
What's the number of times you would estimate you've dealt with investigations involving cocaine?
Cocaine specifically would be approximation of about 100 control buys in my career.
And during your time at Lake County Narcotics Agency, as well as your prior law enforcement experience, have you read or heard communications about drug sales?
Yes.
Are you familiar with slang for
Yes.
drug sales? And generally, what is the role of a special agent at the Lake County Narcotics Agency?
Special agents here at Lake County Narcotics Agency, we facilitate drug investigations and also facilitate the controlled buys or what we call buy walk or buy bust here in the county for illicit narcotic sales.
You said buy bus and a buy, what was the first?
Buy walk, sir.
Buy walk.
Yes.
What's a buy walk?
Buy walk would be an event that we create where we facilitate a controlled buy, and we allow it to go without an arrest just for the case investigation.
And how's that different from a buy bus?
Buy bust is a pre-planned. Controlled buy bust would be we would make the sale and then we would initiate an arrest following immediately after.
And is the person that is doing the sale usually a CI or yourself in a buy bus?
For the sale of the narcotic, it would be the person assumed to be trafficking in the drugs. For the purchaser, it would be the confidential informant or an agent undercover capacity.
Can you estimate the number of controlled buys you participated in?
Total of 500 approximately.
And what's the number of times you've utilized a confidential informant at Floyd County Narcotics Agency?
It would be, in my career here, approximation of about 80 controlled informants.
Why have you used a confidential informant for your investigation so many times?
Confidential informants and sources are closer to those that are trafficking in these illicit drugs and tend to have a better rapport with them rather than an undercover agent who just meets them or is introduced to them.
Is there any process you go through for with a confidential informant before they do a controlled buy?
Yes.
What do you do, if anything?
Walk through a controlled buy event, whether it be a buy walk or buy bust, is the communication is made with the individual who is trafficking that illicit narcotic. They agree to how much it's going to be, for how much, and they agree to a neutral area usually where they'll conduct this transaction. Once that's in place, the confidential informant will be given the money that has been agreed upon in marked bills from the agent, will be searched, and then will be given audio and video recording equipment.
Why do you search the informant?
It's just to ensure that they're not taking any weapons or anything illegal or illicit with them, and that they're taking only the audio video recording equipment and the money provided from the agent.
And what do you mean by marked bills?
We record the serial numbers of the bills that are actually used for the transaction.
How do you usually record that?
We'll take a picture of the bills that are going to be used for that transaction.
And is there any recording devices involved in this usually?
Yes.
Do you do anything with that before the control buy with the recording device?
Yes, we'll test to make sure that it's on and it's working, and then once it is, then we'll go ahead and give it to the confidential informant.
Are you physically present with the confidential informant at all times during the buy?
Yes.
You are next to them as they're doing the control
Other
buy?
than the transaction, however, we are in the vicinity of that transaction.
So you're within the vicinity but not immediately next to them?
That's correct, yes.
And why is that?
For us to be as close to that transaction or that event could show suspicion of, compromising the transaction that was they agreed upon.
Can you monitor the informant still when they're alone or even out of your eyesight?
Yes, sir.
How's that?
The audio and video recording equipment is a live stream from the audio and video device that we do give the confidential informant.
So you can hear what's going on?
Yes, sir.
You can see what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Can you communicate directly with the informant?
I can communicate through a text message or a phone call on their regular phone, but as far as through the actual audio recording device, I cannot. However, we can hear them, yes.
Are you familiar with confidential informant 1365?
Yes, I am.
What's his full name?
Thomas Sutton.
How are you sure that's his full name?
Prior to the sign up of confidential informant, we run a background on who they are and verify who they are in their identifiers.
When did you first meet Tom?
The first time I had met Tom was during a complaint received from the Eastlake Police Department about activity at his residence.
Is this months ago, years ago?
At this time, it would be approximately in the vicinity of 2022.
Approximately how old was he when you first met with him?
I do not know.
50s, 60s, 70s?
Could possibly be in the late 50s.
And you said that you were involved in an investigation involving him. Was he facing any potential criminal charges?
Eastlake Police Department had, I believe, a felony possession.
Do you know what type of drug he was felony possession of?
I believe it was crack cocaine.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Did you approach him about cooperating with the Lake County Narcotics Agency?
Yes, I did.
Was he willing to cooperate with the Lake County Narcotics Agency?
Objection.
Overruled.
Yes, sir, he was.
Did you come to any formal written agreement with him?
The only paperwork we conducted was the confidential informant agreement paperwork of the procedures and policies of how we operate. And he did sign it, he did agree.
Objection.
Overruled.
Did he receive any benefit from cooperating with Lake County Narcotics Agency?
No monetary compensation, however, the benefit was that if he would make this purchase or this controlled buy, that it'd be a positive recommendation towards charges, any charges that he had incurred by the Eastlake Police Department.
And by positive recommendation, you mean essentially that you'd recommend not pursuing the charges against him?
Objection, leading.
Overruled.
Turning to June 17, 2022, on that date, did you contact Tom?
Yes, I did.
How did you contact him?
We had planned to meet up via telephone call, and I had picked Tom up for this event.
Approximately where did you pick him up at?
His residence.
What did you do after you picked him up?
Transported him to the Eastlake Police Department for the pre-buy brief.
And approximately what time did you pick him up?
That time frame was around noon on that day, approximately.
And after you picked him up, did you do anything to prepare him for a controlled buy?
Yes, we had made the telephone call, and we had went through our confidential informant procedures for the controlled buy.
And what procedures are those?
Once we had made the phone call, we had,
Objection. Who we made. Your
Go
Honor,
ahead, make
if-
that more clear.
myself and the CI 1365, sir.
continuing objection, Your Honor. Who actually made the phone
For
call?
what?
Who made the phone call? There's one
Listen, I
person-
want to know your objection, okay? I don't want to argue with you, okay?
Your Honor, my-
State specifically your objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. My objection is hearsay because if the phone call was conducted where the CI said anything the CI said would be inadmissible.
For what purposes? For the truth of the matter asserted or everything?
For the truth of the matter asserted
Okay,
that he
well,
made
the
a call.
objection's overruled. Go ahead.
You mentioned that you did procedures or followed your procedures for the controlled buy.
Yes.
Specifically, what was that?
The confidential informant made a phone call, the phone number of the individual who
Objection.
Overruled.
they were going to meet for this controlled buy. Once they had made the telephone call, the procedure was a search. The phone call was recorded. This confidential informant was searched, and the confidential informant was provided a audio-video recording equipment by myself.
And what was that recording device?
The recording device was a cellular phone that had the ability to audio and video record live.
And what number did Tom call?
Objection.
Overruled.
I believe the phone number was 440-241-3338.
Sorry, Defense Counsel, it's been marked as State's Exhibit 1A.
What's the exhibit?
State's Exhibit 1A. I'm now showing you it. You recognize it.
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
I have my initials on it, and it's the audio files for this case.
Have you listened to it?
Yes, I have.
Is that a fair and accurate recording of the phone call made by Tom to 440-241-3338?
Yes, sir.
Objection, foundation.
Overruled.
And can you recognize who's the first voice you hear on that recording?
The beginning of the recording, the heading, sir?
Yes.
Yes, it would be me.
And can you recognize the voice of the person that made the call?
That made the call, yes.
And this call was made on speaker in front of you?
That is correct.
And did a male or female sounding voice answer the call?
Male voice.
Now take it back. It's Exhibit 1A. After the phone call, what did you do next?
After the phone call was made, is when we briefed that, that this time and this location was going to be the prearranged meeting location for this transaction. He was searched and given the audio-video recording equipment.
Was he given anything else?
$100 in marked LCNA recorded funds.
I'm showing defense counsel in State's Exhibit 3. Handing it to you. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 3?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
This would be the photocopy of the LCNA recorded funds given to the CI.
And is your handwriting on it?
Yes, it is.
Your initials?
Yes, sir, it is.
Is that a fair and accurate copy of the $100 worth of marked money that you gave to Tom to purchase?
Yes, sir, it is.
And what is the denominations that make up the $100?
The denominations given to the CI, and in this photograph is denominations of $20.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 3.
What's that?
The state would move to admit State's Exhibit 3, Your Honor.
Mr. Crook?
No objection as to admissibility, Your Honor.
All right, 3 is admitted.
Could you please pull out the document contained in the evidence package?
Yes.
What is the serial number of the first marked $20 bill, the one closest to the top of State's Exhibit 3?
PG 254-90873 A, be a $20 bill.
What about the second one?
To the right,
Uh,
top right, or down.
Just let us know which one you are reading.
Okay, immediately to the bottom of the top left would be another $20 in U.S. currency with serial number PG 560-36713C. The second column, top right, another $20 bill in U.S. currency, MF 93442496D. Underneath that would be another $20 bill, NG 07330953B. And the last $20 note would be ND 69654355B.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take that back from you.
There we go.
Thank you. And why do you record the serial numbers of the marked money?
We recorded for both buy walks and buy bust operations. This is for any time a search warrant or a buy bust that's immediately following a controlled buy that shows that these bills were actually transacted with the individual who made the deal with the confidential informant.
When Tom went to call that phone number, 440-241-3338, who did he believe he was calling? What was their name?
Objection.
Sustained.
He believed he was calling.
Sustained.
You
Sustained.
don't have to answer that question. What happened after Tom made the call?
They had agreed to meet at the.
Objection.
Sustained.
What did you do after Tom made the call?
We went to the location of where we were going to drop him off for this meeting, this arrangement.
Why did you do that?
They had arranged for.
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you observe the meeting location?
Yes.
What's the address of the meeting location where they were doing that?
36141, I believe, Lakeshore Boulevard in Eastlake, Lake County, Ohio, McDonald's.
Could you see what Tom was doing even after you left him?
Yes.
How could you see what was happening?
The audio video recording equipment that I provided the CI was live streaming to my.
And what did you see Tom do after he went out of your sight?
He was awaiting the arrival of the individual he had spoken with.
Did he walk anywhere?
He walked to the McDonald's parking lot, yes.
Where did he go in the McDonald's parking lot?
The CI was on the west end of the parking lot of that address.
And had he walked anywhere else prior to the McDonald's?
He had entered his residence.
Why did he go there?
He said it was, according to the CI, he had told me that that was his usual dealings, that he would wait at his residence prior to meeting up.
Approximately how long did he wait at his house before walking to the McDonald's?
Approximation of 10 minutes.
And around what time did he walk over to the McDonald's?
Approximately 12:40 time frame.
And you said he went to the parking lot of the McDonald's. Was he standing in the parking lot? What was he doing?
Per the video, he was waiting on a park bench right there in the parking lot.
Where were you in relation to Tom as you're watching this video?
Approximately like northwest of that, the west side of the parking lot that the CI was waiting on.
Where were you at specifically, your location?
I would say the closest approximation would be Forest Drive in Portage.
How many feet would you estimate you were away?
Approximately 150 feet.
Did you enlist the help of any other police agencies?
Yes.
What police agencies?
Willoughby K-9, Officer Matthew Neath, Eastlake Police Department, and then ours as well, Lake County Narcotics Agency.
How did they assist you with the investigation at this point?
Lake County Narcotics Agency and Detective Chris Caroon were our surveillance units around that meeting location, and a couple of the marked police vehicles, Eastlake PD and the Willoughby K-9, Officer Matthew Neath, were instructed to be in that close vicinity or area for a traffic stop.
And was there any predetermined place for a traffic stop to occur at?
We said immediately following, during the brief, it was immediately following the controlled buy, but away from the actual buy location.
I'm showing defense counsel to mark the state's exhibits 2A through C. Now handing them to you.
What exhibit is that?
2A through C, Your Honor. You could look through those. You look up at me once you have. Do you recognize the areas depicted in states 2A through C?
Yes, sir, I do.
What's states 2A through C photos of?
This is the area of East Lake here in Lake County, Ohio, and specifically the red balloon or the red place marker would be the 36141 Lakeshore Boulevard, McDonald's.
After working in Lake County for over a decade, would you say you're familiar with the geographic area of the city of East Lake?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the geographic area of the East Lake McDonald's located at 36141 Lakeshore Boulevard?
Yes, sir, I am.
Do these aerial maps that you're looking at, states 2A through C, fairly and accurately reflect the geographic area of the 36141 Lakeshore Boulevard McDonald's?
Yes, sir, it does.
State would move to admit states 2A through C.
Any objection to 2A through C?
No objection to those, Your Honor.
Right, they're admitted.
Thank please have the screen and move to publish, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
No objection to publication either, Your Honor.
I now put up State's Exhibit 2A. I'm gonna make it bigger. What are we looking at here?
This would be the zoomed out aerial photo of the Eastlake area. The red place marker marking the McDonald's 36141 Lakeshore Boulevard.
And what's that meandering yellow line we see to the east of that red balloon next to McDonald's?
That, per this map, is representing Lakeshore Boulevard.
Is there any difference between the exhibit you're holding and what you see up on the screen besides there being an exhibit sticker?
No, sir.
They're identical otherwise?
That's correct.
Which direction is north in this map?
North should be, the way that it's oriented, it should be facing the top of the photo.
And is that McDonald's, what county is that located in?
Lake County, Ohio.
Now, I'm gonna put up States 2B. What's this a map of?
This is just a little bit more zoomed in of the last one that was put up.
Does that red balloon still indicate the same McDonald's you mentioned earlier?
Yes, sir, it does.
And this yellow line to the east of the red balloon, is that still Lakeshore Boulevard?
Yes.
State's now going to put up State's Exhibit 2C. This is just a closer up, zoomed in map of what we were looking at previously in 2A and 2B.
Yes.
What is this green area with 35150, the numbers near the center of it?
It's just an unoccupied field next to the McDonald's.
And these horizontal and vertical white lines throughout this parking lot?
Yes, that would be the parking spots for that specific McDonald's.
Can you see in this map where the defendant walked to?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, not the defendant, the confidential informant Tom walked
Confidential informant, yes.
to. Is there a laser pointer or something I can give him?
Laser doesn't work on this screen.
Okay, that's okay. Could you describe where, could you circle on the photograph where, sure, where you saw the
Oh, there we go.
CI? Oh, there we go, sir.
This general vicinity, I would say would be the west end of the parking lot. It would be where the confidential informant walked to after the drop and the call.
Did he sit at a picnic table?
He was sitting at a picnic table bench, yes.
And can you indicate on the map where he was sitting at?
It would be in this general vicinity. I don't see a picnic table here now in this photograph, but in the video there was.
What did you see happen next, if anything, after the defendant walked there?
The confidential informant, once
Excuse me, the confidential informant,
once the confidential informant had occupied that bench area or the vicinity of that of the parking lot, he waited for the defendant to show up and let us know that they had arrived.
Did you see any vehicle arrive?
In the video, it was a beige Toyota.
Do you know the model of the Toyota?
At that time, I did not.
And what did Tom do once that vehicle arrived?
He approached the passenger, front passenger side of that vehicle.
Could you see how many occupants were in the vehicle?
At that time, it only looked as if two were occupying.
What did he do, if anything, after approaching the vehicle?
He had exchanged the LCNA recorded funds for a product presumed to be the reported quantity of suspected crack cocaine from the passenger.
The front passenger side of the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Was the door opened up or through the window?
It was through the window.
Could you see what the male front passenger was wearing as far as clothing?
What I could view from the video was a black T-shirt and red shorts.
And you're watching this all live, hearing the audio live.
That is correct.
Around what time did this exchange occur?
This exchange occurred approximately 12:42, 12:43.
What did Tom do next after?
Immediately after the transaction was made, he left the area and met with me at a predetermined location.
Where did he meet you at?
He met me at the Forest and Portage area.
What did he do when he met with you?
As soon as he got into the vehicle, he immediately handed me the reported quantity of suspected crack cocaine.
Did you search him again afterwards?
Yes, I did, and I removed the audio and video recording equipment.
What did you do with the suspected drugs he gave you?
Entered it into an evidence.
And how do you enter it into evidence?
I place it in an evidence bag until we get back to the office to put it into storage.
Do you initial and seal it?
Yes.
In your training experience, was the amount he gave you consistent with $100 worth of cocaine?
Yes, sir.
Why do you search a confidential informant before and after a controlled buy?
Prior to is just to make sure that they have the $100 that, or specifically the funds for the event with them, and they're not carrying any weapons or any other contraband on them prior to. Afterwards is to make sure that they don't have anything more with them and or any weapons may be obtained from a transaction.
Did you find anything of concern like weapons or contraband in your search of them before?
No, sir, I did not.
In your search of them after?
No, I did not.
Now showing defense counsel, it's been marked as State's Exhibit 4. I'm handing it to you. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 4?
Yes.
What is it?
This is the crack cocaine from the transaction that we're discussing.
How do you recognize it?
I recognize it just from the receipt that he received it in. And then that the substance is crack cocaine.
And is that the evidence bag you mentioned earlier?
Yes.
Did you label that evidence bag?
Yes, I did.
Was the evidence contained in that bag eventually submitted to the Lake County Crime Lab?
Yes, it was.
Does that fairly and accurately reflect the cocaine Tom purchased on June 17, 2022 and then handed over to you?
Yes, sir, it does.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 4.
Any objection to 4?
Not to admission, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted.
Take it back. After the controlled buy, did you do anything to memorialize the audio and video that you watched?
Once the audio and video recording equipment was turned off, it was saved.
How did you save it?
It saves automatically as a download,
Where does it save to?
I believe, to a cloud.
And did you later put it onto a disc?
Yes.
Did you listen to the disc?
Yes.
Showing defense counsel it's been marked as State's Exhibit 1B, video files from the buy. Now, handing it to you. Do you recognize that CD?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
My initials are on it, and it's labeled as the video files for this case.
And
Investigation.
what's contained in that disc?
This disc should have the video files for the controlled buy.
Did you review the entirety of the video and listen to the entirety of the audio contained in that disc?
Yes, sir, I have.
Does that fairly and accurately reflect what you simultaneously saw and heard when monitoring the control by?
Yes, sir.
Objection.
Overruled.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 1B.
You object to 1B?
I do, Your Honor, lack of foundation. In fact, he testified, well, this should have, we haven't seen it, we don't know, he hasn't looked at what's on it.
He testified, he looked at it and listened to it, and it's the buy that he witnessed. He said that, didn't he?
No, he actually said this should be.
Then he was asked if he reviewed it and if that is the buy that he witnessed and listened to, and he said yes. So it's overruled. The exhibit is admitted.
Thank you. I have now moved to publish it as well, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm now going to start State's Exhibit 1B from the beginning. Let it play for approximately 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Today's date is Friday, June 17th, 2022. Time now is 12:46 hours. Following is going to be a controlled by.
I paused it at 10 seconds. Whose voice are we hearing?
That is my voice, sir.
Resuming it.
McDonald's in East Lake County, Ohio, for $100 of crack cocaine. CI 1365 and SA 91.
All right, ready to go? Everyone's good to go?
Jack 4.
Jack 4. Why is good?
You talking again?
It is, sir, yes.
And who are you explaining or speaking to?
To CI 1365,
And what's his name?
Thomas Sutton.
Thank you. I'm now resuming State's.
So just hold like this, okay? And as you're holding it like this, we're going to see and hear everything. So don't be afraid to just talk to us, okay? Like, yeah, that's fine, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of stay in the area, and we could use that as contingency, like, look, we don't find anything, and you know, good traffic, but we got a possession officer to keep it as that. And then I'll come back here and talk to them, what you did with drugs, what you did before that, blah, blah, blah. And then there's- Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Yeah, round car. All right. LCNA 91, tag 4 radio check. So what I'm going to do is he'll call me and I'll walk, at that point I'll walk over to McDonald's from my house, just so you guys know. So just keep my phone in my pocket and carry this one in my hand, right? See that? I can see, hear everything. Scary. It's all scary to me now. Even if he takes it, he won't be able to get into it. Yeah, don't worry. You're not gonna take it. He's gonna get fucking. He's gonna go. I'm gonna be good. And whatever happens after that, just hope it doesn't come back to me. But I need to take care of me first. Business as usual. Don't worry. That's part of my job, is to make sure you're safe, trust me. Right. I just don't want him to see a roller. He sees a roller, he's not coming. I wouldn't even let him see him walk.
I'm pausing at 325. Do you know what a roller means?
Yeah, he's talking about the marked police cruisers. That's why they weren't in the area.
Thank you.
Objection as to what the client intended, or what the CI intended. He's not here to
The,
testify, Your Honor.
The issue is do you know what the term roller means?
Your Honor, the question was, do you know what he meant?
Listen, the question is of the witness, do you know what the term roller is? What is the term roller?
A roller would be a marked police cruiser.
Okay, that's in your vernacular?
That is correct.
Okay, that's the only thing it's considered for, not what the CI
Thank you. I'm
considers it to be.
I'm resuming the video at 325.
Because 91, Zach 4, radio check. Just quick heads up, CI is going to be dropped near his residence. He waits for the call, and then he starts to walk over. I'll give you guys a push once he's dropped, and once he gets the call to walk over. You might want to go like the other street, so I'm coming in a different way with you guys. This way, totally shot as well. I have a radio also. So if they call out, stop on the main man, we would run and get lazy. I'd give you a relay what's going on until the gotcha. Copy that. So you need to be very vocal about, okay, he's having me go to, speak out loud. Okay. He's going to have me go to. Okay, I'm walking over now. Okay, I'm walking up to his car, and then I ain't gonna say crap after that. Okay, I'm walking away. Try to give me though, like, okay, he said not to give McDonald's, he said Dollar Tree. Right, that's fine, I got you. All right. Say that shit up. And then, yeah, you can mumble to yourself, you know, driving this kind of car, you know, whatever, that'll help tremendously. It's not gonna be hard, it's gonna be the only one I get is McDonald's, trust me. So. So the last 6 months, I've had this, I don't know if it's because I smoke crack and I'm paranoid, but every time I pull out, there's a Jeep behind me. I swear to God, not this Jeep, but just the Jeep in general, white Jeep or black Jeep, yeah. And it just turns out that you're in a Jeep, it's just kind of weird. Hey, whatever you think in your mind, this guy telling me to quit doing what I was doing. I ended up in this Jeep, and I ended up in the fucking Jeep. It's fine. He may or may not start. Yeah, then you pull past it, and then I walk right back up to my place. And pull in the bar and go like that, because I'm sure there's probably 10 people in that bar that fucking bike shit too. Alright, we are dropping CI off now at the residence. Portage and Forest. Again, he's going to be wearing black shirt. Yellow shorts. He's going to have earbuds in. He's got like a Punisher-like t-shirt. You're going to go to... Alright. If I come to pick you up, I'll pick you up around here. Okay. Okay? Alright.
I'm positing states exhibit 1B at 6:40. What did you see Tom do after this point in the video?
Once I dropped the CI off, he walked towards his residence.
Did he then go into his residence?
Yes.
Approximately how long was he at his residence?
I'd say approximation 10 minutes.
Can you summarize what you saw him do, if anything, while he was waiting at his residence for 10 minutes?
Objection, Your Honor. The video speaks for itself. It's already been admitted, and the best evidence rule would be show the video, not his recollection or a summary.
Overruled.
The CI, once entered his residence, was just waiting for a phone call.
And you said it took approximately 10 minutes later?
I would say yes.
I'm now going to go to 1341 in this video. 1340. I'm gonna press play.
He's calling me. Jay. I'm calling. I'm gonna keep that to brown edge. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna take it. It says he's pulling in right now. Sorry about that. This is him. Toyota. Oh, thanks. It's in a piece of paper, looks like a piece of newspaper. And then over to the spot I was supposed to pick up. It's a Janice Toyota going up for us. These are glasses without the driver. Okay, I'm getting ready to turn that forward. Turning that forward. I'm gonna lay it in my house. Please hurry, I'm gonna get this kitchen just sitting here in my house and I'm fucking nervous. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm a bit nervous, for real.
Did he have anything else on him, or you already had it?
He already had the stuff, so.
Already had it packaged up?
We don't normally do that, anyway. He's got his girls driving, he's a passenger.
Girl driver, female driver, he's passenger.
Girls driver. There you go. I see what I got from her? Yeah, just kidding. No, you can't. I usually ask.
One of the railroad bridge going up to 91 here in the fall, man. No rush fall. He's far west, 91. We've got left lane.
We just completed playing the video of State's Exhibit 1B from around 1340 till the end of the video. Near the end, he got into someone else's vehicle. Whose vehicle was that?
Yeah, it was my vehicle.
And the voice we heard, was that your voice?
That was my voice, yes, sir.
Now in show and defense counsel was previously been marked as State's Exhibits 5A through C.
Your Honor, I'm going to object, and I can list my objection now, or I can wait till he testifies. For the, I guess for the sake of expediency, there's no way that he could know what happened or have seen it that fast. That we're talking about very specific still shots that there's no way that he could have observed in real time watching it remotely to catch it that fast. And my previous objection that's been going on with regards to any use of information produced by the CI.
All right, overruled, go ahead.
Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 5A through C, and I'm taking back 1B. Do you recognize those photos?
Yes.
Just look up at me, and you do. How do you recognize those?
These are the still photos from the controlled by.
When you review control live footage, is it possible to view it frame by frame?
Yes.
And when you look at it frame by frame, can you capture something you might miss live?
Yes.
Did you review this footage later, not only just live at the time?
Yes, I did.
What does State's Exhibit 5A show generally?
5A shows the vehicle that showed up for this transaction.
How about 5B?
5B is a still shot of inside of the vehicle showing the passenger.
And how about 5C?
5C is the still shot from that live feed of confidential informant's hand, recorded LCNA funds, and what looks like the reported quantity of suspected crack cocaine from the individual in the passenger seat.
Do State's Exhibits 5A through C fairly and accurately reflect the content of the buy video that's already been admitted into evidence, State's Exhibit 1B?
Yes, they do.
Your Honor, the state would move to admit into evidence State's Exhibits 5A through C.
They're admitted over the defense objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We've moved to publish 5A.
Go ahead.
We're looking at State's Exhibit 5A. What's this a photo of?
That is the photo of the beige Toyota that showed up for the transaction.
And can you tell what model of vehicle it is?
In this picture, no, just that the make is a Toyota.
And is this the front portion of the vehicle?
Yes.
And if we look at State's Exhibit 2C, can you recognize where in the parking lot this vehicle would have been parked?
It would have been in the vicinity of the west end of the parking lot.
Near this end, the northwest corner, near the Forest Drive?
This area here.
Oh, my apologies, you have a pointer. We're now going to look at State's Exhibit 5B. Can you describe what we see here?
A passenger black male with red shorts and a black shirt that conducted the transaction.
Do you see anything on his lap?
It's a cell phone.
Do you notice anything distinctive about his arms?
The individual has tattoos.
And where is the man you just described seated?
The front passenger, sir.
And is there anyone else in the vehicle?
The driver, the unidentified female driver.
Could you tell whether or not this was a male or female driver?
At that time, no.
Did Tom tell you?
Yes. Through the wire, he did, yes.
Objection.
Sustained.
Now I'm going to put State's Exhibit 5C up. What's this still of?
The confidential informant's hand with LCNA recorded funds and the front passenger with purported quantity of suspected crack cocaine.
Objection, Your Honor. That's the depiction.
Overruled.
And who is holding the money in this picture 5C?
Be CI 1365.
Are those the marked funds that you
Yes.
gave him? Now going to take down 5C. Did you have any further involvement in this investigation on that date?
Other than the debrief of the CI, an interview of the female driver and Mr. Nix was all.
Were you involved in any traffic stops that date?
I was not.
You said you interviewed the female driver.
Yes.
What was her name?
Shanika Bondi.
And how did you know that was her name?
That's who she identified herself as.
Around how much time after the control buy occurred did you interview the defendant?
It should have approximation an hour after.
Did you positively identify him as anyone?
The passenger.
No, the driver.
The driver as Shanika Bondi, yes.
And what about the passenger?
Was
Sorry.
Andrew Nixer.
How did you identify him as Andrew Nix?
He was identified through an OLEG, Ohio Law Enforcement Gateway photo, and then the identification they had provided from the traffic stop.
Was your interview of the defendant recorded?
It was recorded.
Who recorded it?
The East Lake Jail.
Were they able to obtain that recording?
They were not. There was a technical difficulty.
So you don't have a copy of that recorded interview?
I do not know.
Are you aware specifically why?
I am not aware, no.
What was the defendant wearing when you interviewed him at the East Lake Jail?
Black T-shirt and red shorts.
And was this was on the very same day as the controlled buy?
Yes, sir, it was.
Did the defendant say what his relationship was to the other person in the car?
He said the driver, the female driver, Miss Bondi, was his fiance.
And what was she wearing when you interviewed her?
I cannot recall completely what she was wearing. I believe jean shorts. That's all I can recall at this time.
During your interview with the defendant, did you ask him about the controlled buy?
Yes, I did.
Did he make any admissions or deny?
He denied that he was present for the transaction.
Did you ask the defendant about any other drugs?
The drugs that came into question, he did say that were his, that were in his possession, and it was not his fiance's, and that he wanted us to let his fiance go, referring to Shanika Mondi.
Those are the drugs found in the car that he was in.
That is correct.
Did he say whether they were near him or not?
He did not.
Do you see the person in the courtroom today who said that the drugs that were found were his?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is he wearing?
He's wearing a blue jail suit.
Let the record reflect that the Special Agent 91 has identified the defendant.
Michelle?
No further questions.
All right, we're gonna take about a 5-minute break.